takes time, yeah.
And we know each other.
Yes, ma'am. Well, when we spoke on the phone the other day, I know you guys were talking about, how you wanna approach the audit this year, and we talked about a variety of different things. So, I'm just glad to get a chance to sit down with y'all and make sure everybody's kind of on the same page. You know, in the past, for as long as I've been working with the county anyway, the financial statements have been prepared by an accountant, and then we've performed the audit on them. I think, there was some rule changes several years ago, that us auditors have to follow about what we have to do to maintain our independence, because we have to be independent to be able to issue a report. And the adjustments that, I believe Williams and Lentz were making to the financial statements to convert them over to to be generally accepted, to meet generally accepted accounting principles, was enough that they became the auditors of their own work. They were auditing what they were preparing, and that's what the new rules said we can't do anymore. So that's when they, I believe, pitched the idea that they would prepare the financial statements, and then we came in to do the audit of those financial statements. So I know when we spoke the other day, you talked about the possibility of just having the one auditor.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the reason why we got to the two auditors in the first place, or at least a bookkeeper and an auditor. So technically, we were the only auditor.
Yeah.
But that's how we got there. So when you called and asked if I'd be able to, or interested in doing that, where we certainly could and would be glad to, but we really are comfortable in the role that we're already playing, being your auditor. I hope you're satisfied with the work that we're doing. That's the role that we would prefer to continue in. But we wouldn't be able to do both, because then we would be auditing our own work. And I think we talked a little bit about how some of the other counties are doing things.
I didn't understand that. I hadn't talked to any of them, so.
We do some audits for a couple other counties. And a lot of the other counties are preparing their statements on a different basis of accounting. And they'll prepare theirs on a modified cash basis. And that's basically just, here's where the money came from, here's where the money went. And whenever you audit that, then you don't get a clean opinion on the financial statements. They get a different, or modified opinion on theirs that says that these financial statements are not prepared in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. And that's what the difference is between theirs and yours. A lot of the other counties will do that. And it is a little cheaper. But the financial information is, like I said, it's not gonna earn a clean opinion. The state accepts it though. The difference is mainly, when do you recognize your revenues and when do you recognize your expenses? The way some of the other counties are doing, and I don't know about all of them, but just some of them, they just recognize receipts and disbursements whenever they receive the money and whenever they pay the money.
Whatever that date is.
Exactly. And, you can kind of manipulate your financial statements a little bit like that around the end of the year, if you're.
As far as writing checks, but not really the income, can you?
Well,
Or they
not
do
with
it
the direct deposit,
yeah.
but
if they get a check in the mail.
right, you're not supposed to be able to, but it's pretty common.
Is that even legal?
Well, it's not that it's illegal, it's just depends on if your auditor catches it, it tells what kind of an opinion you're gonna get on your financial statements. So, now I suppose if it were a long amount of time, it could be some question about what you were intending to do with the cash, but, what I've seen is just kind of a timing thing, just trying to influence the financial statements. But that's one of the reasons why an auditor is not allowed to put a clean opinion on those financial statements, because that can happen. Your financial statements are kept on that same basis of accounting throughout the year, and then Williams and Lentz has been doing is converting those financial statements to the modified accrual basis. And what that means is you recognize your revenues when you earn them, you recognize your expenses when you incur them, not necessarily when you pay them. So if you get a December electric bill and you cut the check in January to pay the bill, it was
It's still
still a
on December
expense. Exactly. So that's probably the easiest explanation of the difference on the two. But that actually reflects, what did it cost to run the county, and where did the money come from to pay for it? It more accurately shows that, and that's why we're able to put clean opinions on your financial statements. I say clean opinions, and unmodified is the technical term, but everybody recognizes that as clean opinions. So, but that's the main difference. We've enjoyed working with Williams and Lynch, but I understand that that's probably not going to be the case this year. But we've worked with a lot of different firms on similar scenarios. Where another firm comes in, prepares the financial statements, and then we do the audit on them. So.
What about vice versa? Do you do some of that, or?
We do some of that too.
It's just the world you all live in.
Right, exactly. We can do either or, we just can't do both. Yeah, and that's the main reason, if we're preparing the statements, the theory behind it is that we'd be less likely to tell you if there's anything wrong. And you can trace that back directly to like Arthur Anderson and Enron. You probably all remember that several years ago. What they were doing was the firm was providing them advice on how to record transactions, and then they would also come back and audit it. Well, they were charging $52 million a year for the advice they were given, and then when the auditor got out there and saw that the advice they gave them wasn't right, well, they're not going to jeopardize that $52 million they got for doing that, so they just went along with everything until it finally fell apart. But that's what happened in that circumstance. But then the fix was, we're gonna make the rules so that nobody ever does this anymore. So, I think it's kind of unfortunate for the small entities where you don't have unlimited resources to go out and have a CPA on staff to prepare your financial statements. Most folks look to their auditor for guidance on how should we be recording transactions and things like that. So I kind of hated what it did to the profession from our perspective. We don't work with Washington D.C. and cities the size of Chicago or something like that. Here in the real world, it was a lot nicer for you guys whenever you were able to have one accounting firm that took care of all your needs. Unfortunately, we just can't do that anymore. So, and like I said, we'd be glad to continue in whichever role that you all would like from us. We're comfortable with what we've been doing, and we like to fit into that role, but we can do either one. One of the reasons I think it kind of works well the way it is just for location. As our firm policy, we don't charge any of our clients for travel. We figure it's not your fault that we're not just down the street or just over the river. But it did work fairly well, I think, whenever the firm was close by, when they were making a lot more trips here, and then whenever the financial statements were ready, we came in and we were here for several days, whatever it takes to do the audit. But it does save a lot on travel for us. But I hate to make that a decision for anything. It's just a convenience thing. Like I said, we'd be glad to take on whichever role you guys want us to be involved with. I hope that
We'll talk about that.
I hope that just kind of provides a little bit of background. Sure. And I do think, like we were talking about with the different basis of accounting for reporting, it is a little bit more expensive the way you guys are doing it, but it's right. That's what the folks who make the rules on what financial statements are supposed to be. Your statements now are done the way they're supposed to be. That's why you can get the unmodified opinion. They're right right now, it's still allowable to do both, but I know that the federal government is trying to encourage folks to all get to the same place where you guys already are. You know, I would encourage you guys to, you know, to stay with that. Of course, that's a decision, it's up to you guys. It's just my opinion that you're already there, and it would be incredibly cumbersome to have to come back to it again if you were to switch, and then if you were forced to switch back. You know, that's something that, if it becomes mandatory, it's gonna be a huge deal for everybody who's not already on this basis. They keep saying that they're not going to do that, but they keep making, the standard setters, the GASB board is who it is, but they keep making steps to that. They're already, penalizing, folks who have the other basis of accounting by requiring a lot more audit work, if
They're not forcing you to do it, but they're forcing you to be willing to do it.
that's where they're going, right? And I don't know how long it might take them to get there, so it's one of those things that I'm thinking, you guys are already there. You know, it's just my opinion that the thing to do is to stay there. But, no, it would help, for, you know, if you ever had to issue debt, that's something that definitely a bondholder or bond issuers would be looking at. They would wanna make sure that your financial statements are in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles.
Do you have an opinion on, should an entity such as a county change firms every few years just to bring new blood in,
I see,
keep relationships?
there's pros and cons to that on both sides. There's definitely economies for efficiency, by having somebody who's familiar with the records.
Yep.
You know, that's one of the things where I've got a lot of other clients where they're recording things a certain way, and that's the way they've always done it. Maybe it makes it easier for them to be comparable with their budgets, but if I know where those things are, I don't spend a lot of time looking for things that need to be adjusted. I just know where they are every year, and we just go straight to fixing the things that need to be fixed. Likewise, just yesterday, I was working on an audit of a health department over in Cape Girardeau, and the ladies I needed to talk to weren't available. They were in a meeting. I needed the contracts for their government grants, and I know where they keep the grants in the folder, so I went to where they were, I pulled them off the shelf, I got what I needed, and I went back and kept working. You know, it didn't kind of bring things to a halt until everybody was available. Just little things like that, but it is efficient. Now, the theory behind rotating your accountants and your auditors, with your accountants, it's more to keep them from becoming just, kind of going through the motions and making the adjustments. You know, fresh eyes keep you looking for the unusual transactions and making sure that everything gets recorded where it's supposed to. With auditors, the theory is that if you rotate auditors periodically, it keeps the auditor from becoming so familiar or becoming personally connected to the people that they might overlook things that need to be reported. You know,
I don't wanna cause him problems. I've known him for years.
Exactly. So I think, you know, hopefully you've noticed from us that whenever things come up, we're not afraid to point fingers when we feel like they need to be pointed. You know, we've got clients that we've audited for years. I've got a city, kind of southeast of here that I'm getting ready to deliver their report. They're unfortunately getting 8 written findings. We like to believe that we call it out when we see it. You know, and just because you don't get a finding, it doesn't mean that well, we're just part of the problem. You know, I've had that brought to me. One guy thought, well, if you didn't find anything, you must be part of the cover-up. I was like, well, either that or they was doing it the way they were supposed to in the first place, but he hadn't considered that. But that's the theory behind it for the mandatory rotation with the auditors. One of the one thing that you kinda get known among the auditors if you are switching firms every 3 years. Because the way we do the audits, we know that in a first-year engagement, it's gonna take us a ton of time to figure out how everything works. And we know that we're not gonna,
That's figured in the bid,
well,
whoever the company is.
actually, we figure we're gonna take a loss the first time. We just know that on a first-year engagement,
Yeah, but you still gotta minimize that loss at least.
you try to do the best you can, but then you hope that maybe you make up for it, you know,
In
with a
following
long-term
years.
relationship, you know. But if I know a client's looking to just have me around for 3 years, I'm probably gonna factor that in, that I'm not gonna have much time to try to make up for that first year. So, you know, if I'm thinking I might be walking into a long-term relationship with a client, I'm not really worried that I'm gonna lose money that first year, because we're gonna bid it where we think it should be on a recurring job. But if you get the reputation of switching every 3 years, all the auditors know that, and whenever they prepare their bid, they're gonna all probably be a little bit inflated, because they know that, you know, we've only got 3 years to make enough money, so.
So what is your title? An accountant?
I'm the auditor,
Okay, auditor.
yes.
Well, as many numbers and dollars you work with, you must not be as greedy as me. I wanna make money the first year and every year after that.
Well, the way we look at it, we're kinda in it for the long haul. We like to have clients that are honest, trying to do a good job with what they do, and, you know, we also know that money's just not growing on trees for you guys either. You know, government auditing has kind of been our background, that's what we do. There's a lot of firms that aren't doing it anymore, and it keeps getting fewer and fewer out there, but we wanna make the commitment that this is something that we do. And it kinda stems from my background. Whenever I got out of college, I first went to work for, the Missouri State Auditor's Office, and that's what I learned to do, and I enjoyed doing it. And then when I had a chance to, for me, move back home, and I found a firm that was looking to hire somebody who just did audits, and they do a lot of government auditing. So this is kind of, it was their thing, it was a natural fit, and we wanna continue doing it. And if you go out there and charge every dime you can get, pretty soon nobody wants to have you around anymore. So, you know, we know what it costs to do an audit. We know that funds aren't just unlimited for you guys, so we try to.
Find a medium.
Exactly, we try to find some place where we can, afford to have staff and pay salaries and keep you guys from running out of money too.
Any other questions?
No.
So, if you don't mind me asking, we're kinda getting to the point soon where we'll need to be getting kind of prepared for the audit, and I was just curious if, for our planning, if there was gonna be, another firm that will replace Williams and Lentz, or, I mean, do you have any kind of direction on where you're going, or are you still at the point of studying that?
We're still studying that.
Still studying that, okay.
We have someone else we're gonna talk to
I
about
would say
that.
that's a possibility.
Okay.
So,
Well, I know I had received a phone call from a firm that they were just looking for information on what the role Williams and Lentz had played, and you know, without going into any details about your audit or anything like that, we just talked in some general terms, and seemed like a very knowledgeable gentleman, and we kind of had a good conversation. So, like I said, you know, no matter who you guys choose to go with, we'll be happy to work with anybody. If you'd like us to continue in our role, we'd appreciate that. But also, kind of planning would be key, so I'm glad that you guys are working with this early in the year. That's encouraging, because to be able to get everything done, meet deadlines, things like that, there's a lot of upfront work that would need to go into it. So anything that I can do to help that, I'll be glad to do. So you all know how to find me, so I'll just keep me posted on anything that I can do to help out with the process.
We'll do that.
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
Thank you, Jeff.
Anything else,
Patrick, is this you approve Illinois State Police, or is this
That's mine.
your, well, you wanna do that, or you wanna do labor, or?
Well,
It's up to
I
y'all.
think,
There,
I got a cancellation late Friday,
Okay.
and
but it's up to you two.
so I thought I'll come at your time, gives us more leeway.
well, ours may be linked. I don't know if you wanna take the sheriff first and get him out
Oh,
of the way.
right,
That
yeah,
way
we
you
can
can.
do that too.
His name is on the company.
He's just trying to get out of tickets.
So happy when I got that email.
Yeah, I missed one.
What's that first one for?
Juvenile housing.
Juvenile?
Benton.
Man, they're pricey. Gilbert's Body Shop, where this says liability.
It's,
Is that where the dude rolled into the truck?
guy hit us and didn't have insurance. Hopefully, we'll get restitution, maybe.
Right. Well, push for it, yes.
Gonna squeeze that turnip?
He was on parole and he's already back in prison, so.
Hopefully he's picking up a lot of aluminum cans for you. What's Donnie doing for 200? Striping?
Yeah, on Danny McKinney's car.
Pretty short list.
Oh, yeah.
Got a hotel for it?
And John said he was down at 35 today.
He's some customers, doesn't he?
Small trustees. John and Judge Jackson went to the bank building today, and I guess we want to clean out the conference room. It's where Judge wants to make this new small courtroom, so they're moving stuff around, and somebody said something about an inventory, what was in there, the tables.
Wouldn't be a bad
lamps.
idea, that's for sure.
I don't know. But they were gonna either move the stuff, all the stuff to the basement or to some other rooms, but
Well, would it, I'm not a tech guy, but would a video inventory be easier than, can you put something like that on a flash drive, or?
It's nice and good.
It'd be pretty simple, wouldn't it? Although it may still need to be all listed out too.
I didn't know, Sheriff, we made the decision to do that yet.
when I talked to him this morning, I thought that decision had been made. He said,
By who?
Judge.
Any of the commissioners' decision to make that,
Okay. Well, I can put that on hold real quick.
you know?
Well, the commissioners are obligated to designate courtrooms, and then once they're designated, then the judge has the authority over it.
Maybe we all need to get together and decide what we're gonna do.
But I think we should, I wouldn't want to wait till after this election to see, what options we have. Cause if it is passed and we go forward at some point, we'll have to possibly move to that building
Yeah,
if remodeling's done. And it might work
there's no
best.
need to remodel the remodel.
It might be best that we use the basement for that temporary courtroom at that time. I don't
He's in
know.
the building today, right?
I've not seen him, but I would assume he is.
Okay. I'll go find him.
We'll
and
just ask him if we can just, wait.
I'll ask him to come in here and we'll all talk.
Okay.
That'd be the best thing to do.
All right, thank you.
Now then,
Ready for me?
sure.
Let's, if we take up the labor issue first. Can we go into closed session to discuss collective bargaining?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
You did?
Yeah.
I flipped it over last time.
Take it over,
Are you done by then?
I think so.
do you need something? Yeah, I don't
think
there's any more.
Okay. Thank you.
I was waiting on a real show.
You missed that.
And I guess I talk about the interagency agreement. With the grant-funded investigator, we do approve that intergovernmental agreement. Now, the next step is for us to approve the investigator being assigned to the drug task force. There's an agreement that the Illinois State Police has prepared. I think I may only have 2 copies of it. place it on the agenda for next week.
Probably the best for me, actually.
This, or you may not know this, but this is the same basic agreement as they do with other,
Exact same. The only thing that changes about it is the parties.
the names, yeah.
Essentially, this is what they require for us to have our investigator work with the state police. And it explains how the contract agreement can be terminated by them or by us if we want to no longer be part of the entity, or if they feel like that it's not working out with that investigator. I can take that and make an additional copy
Yeah.
for Jason, and I'll bring it back.
Okay.
Also lays, well, you'll see, lays out the insurance issues, costs, and then the supervision of the investigator.
Change the name of the agency to bring it in more aligned with the other agencies throughout the state and actually throughout the country. Kind of a reflection of what we actually do. And Patrick's already reviewed the resolutions and stuff.
You wanna read a copy of this, Michelle?
I don't even think we can get copies, start with it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Will that, will this open up any different or new opportunities for the department?
Grants or something.
Just the same, just,
It's kind of realigning. When I took over, depending on who you asked or what piece of paper you looked at, it was either ESDA or it was EMA or,
and
so
then,
there was
does some of them
different.
have different, duties? Possibly? I mean, if it's named this, is there a different, policy book, other than the name change?
No, it won't affect any of that. It's just trying to bring it in line with the other agencies and, you know, when you mention emergency services and disaster agency, a lot of people just really don't understand what it is. When you say more emergency management, they have a better idea of what we're talking about when we're talking and what we do rather than, you know, think of we're the first responders that are actually out, you know, putting fires out and things like that. We're not actually set up for that. We're set up to provide the resources and give them assistance and manage the emergencies.
What do you think, Gerald?
It looks good for me.
That motion?
Yeah.
I'll second that then.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So you change that report?
Now, I actually got a copy of their plan that they've got in place, in the event that something happens with the levy. I forwarded that up to IEMA this morning, so we're on top of that, and
Or if I do something, stop at the levy may fail because of this, valve. So, thank you.
I'm thinking according to the report that I showed you all last week from the Corps, you know, that's a distinct possibility, you know. That sluice gate in the condition that it's in. You know, just depends on whether there's, you know, back pressure from the inside of the levee or exactly what the situation is at the time, so.
I tell you, you can't believe the pressure that water has.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I looked over in there on the north side and it wasn't flooded, but the ditch was full. And then you go over on the riverside, man, it's just gushing out there.
Oh, it's unreal.
It is.
Do I need to hang on to that?
I would kinda, she probably needs to put her stamp of approval on
Well,
that.
I need to
and
put a resolution under it, so,
Yeah.
we can get that taken care of.
they're gonna seal that off, they need to make sure, you know, the pumps are up and working good. And
They better have one hell of a pump, or 10 of them.
I'll bet you it would've took, at least 6 8-inch pumps to, the force of water was coming out of it on that riverside the other day when I was up there. And that ditch, I mean, the thing would've been 10 foot deep in there.
Well, I know the
That
last,
levee's not above blowing out from the inside out,
Well, that's true.
you know?
the,
If they get a 6-8 inch rain event right there, they got a heck of a problem.
Yeah.
I have seen pipes just, first thing, the pipe, the water goes around the pipe, and the next thing you know, the pipe and all will be in the river.
I know, I spoke with Mr. Souders a week or two back, and they were in the process of getting those pumps ready to go, just in case they did have water issues, you know, with the spring coming and the rains and things like that, so they are on top of it and trying to mitigate it as much as they can. And I've been trying to stay in communications with them on it, to kind of see where they're at, kind of monitor it with them, so
When summer's coming, maybe they can do something with it.
that's the hope.
I guess Corps of Engineers probably don't have any money to fix it. Everybody's broke.
Well, I did read I think reading last week's plan where at the council meeting, they said something about the Corps was gonna help them with I don't remember if it's a flat gate or.
Yeah,
what
do
it
some
was.
welding and I think maybe build a new one or part of a new one
Right.
down there.
So, hopefully they'll be able to get into place and get that situation resolved.
How big's the pipe, do you remember?
72.
72 inches,
I asked that before.
pretty good size pipe.
Yeah. We walked all the way down to that, I think, when I was up there. You can walk down to that.
You've walked that pipe?
Inside the pipe.
From the north to the south. Just looking at the inside and all. Oh, I guess it was bad. I didn't really see any dirt falling out of it.
Michelle might wanna go down there and take some footage of
Well,
that.
yeah. This summer I'll take her down there. She'll take some pictures.
Hey, that's hard hitting stuff. Not everybody's walked under a levee.
That's kind of an embedded reporter, isn't that what they call it?
Yep.
Nothing else exciting going on?
Strategy?
Just wonder if they blocked that off, you know, like a 5-inch rain or something. That'd put a lot of water on that north side.
You know, that ain't above happening along the river anyhow. 'Cause how many times have you seen the rain follow the river?
Yeah.
You get a little
Yeah.
pop-up storm down there, you can get 3 or 4 or 5 inches in a hurry.
Yeah.
Did I mention the, problem with one of the tornado sirens to y'all Thursday? We do have one tornado, or one weather warning siren that's not working. Keith is in the process of trying to troubleshoot it, to find out exactly what the problem is. We're thinking, that one of the chargers for the batteries isn't working. And we're working towards resolving the issue.
Which one is it?
It's the one out on George Valley.
Yeah.
Yours,
No, yeah.
yeah.
I didn't realize that, okay.
Isn't it?
North of it a little bit.
But yeah, we're working on that. There is an issue with that. We're not working right now, so we're on top of it.
Are they electric or do they run off the battery all the time? And when they come on, is it battery power or is it electric?
There is a battery backup. I believe there's power that's run to each of the sirens, but there's a battery backup in case of power failure.
Okay.
There is some type of trickle charger or something that's inside the assembly that keeps the 2 batteries charged up. So we're not exactly sure if that is the problem, but Keith was thinking that was the problem.
I would think that thing would take a heck of a lot of juice to even just full-blown running, it don't burn no power, does it?
To be honest with you, I'm not sure how much
I
power.
wouldn't think it possibly
so, but then again, I mean, it is.
It's going, looks like it just
Yeah.
go on.
Cruise along.
Other than that, that's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Household in Massac County. It's a two-sided postcard. It's a 3.5 by 5 inch. It runs $315. Postage will run roughly about $14.50. That's with their discount. And I didn't want to increase the budget, but what I did is looked at our budget that's posted up right now for the public to view. And what I was gonna ask is, if we could do a amendment on the
Yeah.
proposed budget. Take $500 out of the legal fee, line item 105180, and take, $1,250 out of the, cleaning property not being maintained, that we have 3,000 in, take, $1,250 out of that. And that total will give us a $1,750 to, pay for the, expenditure of direct mail of information material regarding the sales tax referendum to be voted on at March 15, 2016 primary. Y'all have any questions on that before I make a motion?
Is that legal to take that out of it? I mean, some plain things we can't borrow or take from, can we?
No, what I'm
We're just
asking,
amending our budget, I guess.
Yeah,
He's just
and-
moving things around.
And creating, well, or are we gonna put it in?
Or would you take us out, leave it out?
what we would be doing is amending the budget, and I was gonna put it in line item 105125, printing and publication.
Okay.
I was gonna insert the 1750 total into 105125.
Are we wanting 1750, or are we wanting more, or what's your thoughts?
1750 should be able to cover the total.
Okay, I come up with 1765, but.
Yeah, just to be safe. I asked Patrick, and he said that this would work, and we would not do the amendment until the budget is passed. Right now, it's just we're putting on record on what we're gonna do, but once the budget's passed, we can do the amendment.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that line item again?
Wanting to change it to 105125 under printing publication, put the 1750 there. So when the bill comes through, that's what it would be paid under.
And where's it coming out of?
It's, 1250 is coming out of a 1051 dash, it don't have a 2-digit number, but it's called clean property, not being maintained, there's 3,000 in that budget. Line item, and the other 500 is gonna be taken out of 105180. That's under legal fees, it currently has 1,000, we budgeted, we're gonna take 500 and transfer it into, the other.
So are we gonna have it read just like this flyer that you're?
Yeah, and that's why I enclosed that, it's not, it's just stating the facts, the flyer.
It's not pro, con, it's
No, just stating.
information.
That's all it is, it's just stating the facts. I don't see anything changing on that, it's got your phone numbers at the bottom in case people wanna call and ask you any questions prior to. The only thing I just wanna make sure people understand is it's a non-binding vote, but for the commissioners to make a choice, yes or no, to move forward, it has to be over 50% yes,
To even make a decision.
for us to make a decision. We can still say no, what
But
I
you
mean?
can't say yes with 10% approval.
Right, but if the yes is under 50%, we do not have the option to go any further.
Okay.
So I wanna make sure people understand that. Okay, so Gerald, you got any questions on that?
Not on that, I have some more.
Okay. All right.
How much are we gonna borrow totally, do you know yet?
You talking about what we're talking about right
No,
here?
no, on the
On a
back.
bonding issue?
Yeah, on the bond, how much are we gonna?
Well, I thought what we have all discussed is, the question is, it could be up to $5 million. But hopefully, once it becomes what they call competitive bidding, if we go forward, the prices will come in cheaper. but I think when RQAW figured it out, or looked into it, they made the pricing a little bit higher.
So, but we're gonna ask probably for 5 million, then when we bid it out, why, if they're cheaper, then that'll come off of.
You're not gonna ask for nothing until,
Nothing on the ballot.
nothing on
Well,
the
no,
We're to,
but when I go over there,
To talk.
yeah, he may ask me.
The maximum would be 5 million, but I mean, we wouldn't bond until we know what the total is, cause we got the bidding done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be kinda like, you might go to the bank, for example, and say, okay, you're approved up to $250,000, but once a carpenter comes, everybody comes, they might say, for $219, I'm gonna build your house, well, that's all you need to borrow is $219. You know,
Yeah. You know, I just think that those prices they gave us are too high.
well, that's why he kept saying, with competitive bidding, those prices should come down.
Well, I think we should omit some of it. Now, just like this floor out here. Now, I think he's wanting to repair those 2 crackers.
Okay.
It's not a tripping hazard. You don't even see them, you know.
I think it has character. That's just.
Yeah, shows how old it is. But, is that the way you all would like to do it, or
Yeah.
do you have another idea?
No, I hope we,
Save as much money as we can.
yeah.
Within, without cutting corners it's gonna cost later.
Well, now that dumper, then, are those dumpers, that where the pipe's leaking in the wall? Well, he said 500,000 for plumbing. I think I'm telling you right. Have you got that, Jason? We
Yeah.
tell,
I did.
well, I said, what did that include? He said, well, those urinals are poured into the floor. He said, we're gonna bust that out there. Get the tin out there, put some new urinals on the wall, put new stalls, all that same. And I assume maybe put some little tiles on the wall, make it look real nice. Well, it works. I say fix the pipe and more.
But can they fix a pipe without tearing it up?
Well, they're gonna have to tear the walls out, I'd
Yeah.
say. I don't know. But I'm thinking, 30 or 40,000 might fix that.
Very possible.
I mean, urinals work, the toilet works, got hot water. It's not gonna it won't look any better than it does now, Now you go up to Diana, in their court, boy, have you been in their bathroom downstairs?
Yeah, they got the tile on.
Oh, it looks like somebody's house.
Well, with this, you got any questions with what
No,
I'm talking
no,
about?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion,
Okay.
for us to do what I said earlier. Amend it. and
Amend the proposed budget.
Amend the proposed budget and to put that, $1750 into 105125, printing and publication to pay the bill. Can I get a second on that?
I'll say that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Come in.
Alright. Thank you.
Printing was fun. Here's, both contracts, and then there are 4 copies of the signature page at the back. I just need to, I didn't know how many
Where did you
guys
print
need.
this, may I ask?
Up in St.
Okay,
Patrick's.
so he's down.
Well,
He's good to go.
he is in a meeting,
Oh, okay.
so I was gonna just leave them with you. You
Okay.
guys could mail the signature pages up, and I'll have my people sign them. And I'll print a copy, of course, for my people.
Sounds real.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Jason, do you know what they're gonna charge, for the bonding? Is that percentage, or how's that work?
It's all in that paperwork. Remember when he did his presentation?
Yeah.
Do you still have that? I can get it for you.
I don't know.
Okay. I'll find it. When you meet with Greg.
Thursday.
After we're done with our meeting, I got all that in my truck. I'll go get it for you.
I'll be contacting them.
Oh, it does, huh? Should've said Jeff Weber.
Got a big bill?
Jeff.
But they finished, and painted and, put trim back up that matched.
It's look good? Satisfied?
Looks good.
Excellent.
Can't tell anything was there. They worked on it on Lincoln's birthday, and I guess came back President's Day, and then had to go find more trim, but got that done too, so. Once they were there, we were good. Good deal.
Hey, there's some questions we just wanted to ask you. Got a second?
And I did see the mailbox was, in fact, I just went over and looked at it the day before and told Jeremy, but I didn't know who had,
Yeah, Gerald's got an invoice there for you somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it $500?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Had to buy a new.
yeah. What is our responsibility to provide for you at that, I mean, the secretary and a location?
paying toward office costs, so, yeah, clerical, and then, a location.
Okay, on a location, can we rent you a location?
Yes, if that,
Okay, we're just looking at our options. Are you responsible for the electric bill and the gas bill?
I don't know where that's been going to.
We've been paying that,
Okay,
and our question is, we probably don't wanna keep paying it.
I understand,
Yeah,
I understand that. No, we can pay that out of the school portion,
okay.
actually,
So
so.
I just wanna get clarity on some things and look at our options that we have.
If you, at the moment, since we're using basically all that responsible for the whole building, if we wanna move that over to us, power and electric, like I said, the school part can take care of that part.
Okay. Is there Liberty Gas, or is it just electric?
Just electric and water.
Electric and water?
Or,
I mean, it may be gas, but that's the only bill we got today.
Okay. Do you have gas there?
I thought the furnaces were, yeah, I think the meter's on, I think
Yeah,
the
it's on
meter's on
the
that north
parking lot
side,
side
on the
there.
parking lot side, yeah, about halfway down.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Do you want us just to forward the bills that we have to you and let you pay it, or are you gonna call and get it put in your name?
What would work better for the county? Would the county still prefer at least to see them so they know what's there in case something happens, down the road?
Yeah, I would prefer to get them out of our name. Would you?
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
think we need to get them.
Okay.
that gets one,
But you can send
that
us
gets a middleman out of the way, I
You
guess.
can send us a copy if you like, to just show us.
Okay,
Or, I mean, if we request a copy or something.
okay. Electric and gas, is that both city?
Electric and water is city, that's
Okay.
2711, I think's their phone number.
Okay,
And Liberty Gas, I can give you their number too, if you want it.
okay.
Or we can get you a copy of the
Well,
bill.
I'd say if you, that might be easy, just give me a copy of the last bill for all three and,
Okay, we will.
garbage pickups with the water.
Garbage, water, and electric's all
Yeah.
in one bill in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll just have two bills, you'll have Liberty Gas, or gas,
And
and then,
Metropolis Utilities or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay.
I think we have the utility bill in there, cause we just signed it, in that folder. The gas bill, we'd have to get you a copy of that,
Okay.
and maybe can put it there. That's all the questions I have.
And then, yeah, obviously, if infrastructure goes down, you guys would look at that, but,
Okay, yeah, yeah, we're responsible for
stuff.
like the things like this and that, okay.
we took care of the fire alarm because that was needed for our program, so.
Yeah. Okay. Everything go well in Brookport today for you? Excellent.
Seem to be. Since Unity has a new roof, things are much better there.
I thought I read in the school board meeting, though, they had some leakage every once in a while, maybe not.
Well, compared to
Might as well,
last year.
I can get him a copy of that card right there, can't I?
Yeah.
Go
that
from
would
there.
work.
I was telling them, I'd see here, I was in Springfield Tuesday, but I've been down here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, today, and we're supposed to go through Joplin tomorrow.
Got a lot of miles on that car.
Uh-huh. Well, we played down here Friday night, but I was down here for, a couple other things too.
That's right.
Saw the kindergartners,
How'd the game go
sang
Friday?
the national anthem. As we're shorthanded,
Yeah,
it went
got
as
expected.
well as could be expected. JV game went overtime.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Um,
I didn't get to go.
It was not a work of art by either team.
Who's
we
hosting the
usually walk
regionals,
through about
Marion
every-
this year?
One's in Marion, one's in Salem, they went back to that sectional complex.
We're in Marion, Massac is, I don't know about.
I think so, I think frankly that shifted to the north because somehow they, they split up the 1 and 4, 2 and 3 seeds.
That's a copy of our claim behind it.
Okay. And then, okay, and then, I think we're stuck with probably where the bottom of the seedings, we've gotta go to Salem.
Okay.
So, about 70 miles, 60 miles that direction. Interstate driving, but, no, better know the buildings and working through the normal stuff.
Good deal.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Sorry you had to come back.
That's okay, well, I haven't been able to get in here in
I know.
a couple of weeks, so.
Be in Springfield next week, right?
The regional superintendent meetings next week. I've got a conference call tomorrow. Couple of proposals that the state superintendent and that education secretary are putting forward. We're in the conversation at least so we know what's potentially coming and can voice our concerns. So we'll see how that goes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the roads look good.
Come on down.
Gotta be careful with it.
Yeah.
There you go.
What's happening?
I have one street sign that needs to be, it's on the list, we actually took it down, it was a bad sign.
Okay.
It was one of them old fiberglass kind that was cracked and everything.
What's the name of it?
Shady Loop.
Shady Loop, L-O-O-P.
It's out,
Hillman, there.
it's out there in Hillman, there's actually two legs of Shady Loop that hit Grand Chain Road, and it's the west one.
I'll text Abby.
Where is Shady Loop? Green Chain.
If you go past Bowes Road, go up the hill a little ways.
Oh, yeah, it's on the south side of Bowes Road. I got you.
That's that road that we put that gravel on a couple of years ago when somebody stole it.
I forgot about that. Gabtown mobsters.
Don't know how that happened, but it sure happened.
You know, they had to have some I mean, what did they,
Yes, man, had to have a backhoe or something.
I would think it'd have to be windrowed up or something to pick it up even.
I don't know how you have to. Yeah, nobody said a word about it.
I mean, I could see it maybe with a paddle wheel well, greater than a paddle wheel scraper, but that's not real fast.
I've got a copy of this franchise agreement, I'm gonna go over it. That's why I was meeting upstairs with Patrick about this morning. So I'm gonna go over it deeper and give Patrick my thoughts, and I think he is going to call that man to come in here.
Good deal. All right. What's the boys up to today? Falling Rock yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've got a couple hauling rock and a couple putting up signs. We're involved in putting our new signs up.
Yeah, they sure look good, what I've seen.
A couple grading today, but
I have asked you about a school bus stop sign out there towards Castlemanville.
yeah, he's called me about it too. He wants another one put up.
I was thinking about putting the old one up on the south side, or is that against the law, or?
Well, yeah, that old one is so old.
Uh,
It needed to be, it was just, yeah, it's not, doesn't meet any of the standards. We can put one up, I just don't have any signs right now.
Well, I wonder if, I'm just thinking if that would even, might ask Patrick, can we give him a sign, he put it up on his post? I mean, he's got the high fence there, I don't know, he tells me he mows it, I don't know whether, I mean, I don't pay attention. I don't know
I know
what
we
I don't know what's legal,
I don't
what's
know
not
if he actually
legal.
mows that or not, but we went through with our brush cutter last year and cut that whole bank, cleared the whole bank up.
Okay,
for 'em.
so it's pretty
So
steep.
I don't think they really do too much to it. But, you know, I don't know, I've got a lot of mixed feelings about that. If we put a sign up where everybody wants one, we
Oh,
have
there'd be
signs.
sign, yeah.
And I think we're misusing some of these signs. I mean, if every kid in the county had two
That's-
signs
yeah.
on either side of their
Oh,
driveway
it'd
that the
be-
buses pick up,
there'd be-
it would be insane.
Well, yeah,
And I don't even think the bus stops there. I don't even think, does it?
I don't know.
He said his kids are special needs, they got autism or something, that's why he wanted it. So I don't even know if the bus stops there. But
I don't
I'm
know
not,
what goes on
I'm not against putting something up, or he could put something up on his own
on his,
property.
you know,
And that's fine, but it's just that if we put a sign up everywhere where somebody wanted
Yeah.
one, we'd have way too many signs. And right now, with this sign program, all we're doing is replacing
Replacing what was
old
there.
signs that are not up to the standard. And that's what we're concentrating on now, so I don't have a new sign right now to put up, I would have to order it and order a post and put it up. And we do that all the time, it's not, that's the problem, it's just, we've got 350 signs to put up here in the next couple of months.
Can you come help Marcus, Grace?
hey, he's supposed to be at work.
Yeah, what's he doing here?
It's
Can
mom
you come help Larry?
He's
I'm
on
late.
Little Larry.
Lunch, yeah.
It's lunchtime.
It is lunchtime.
For him, yeah.
Anyway, you know, I know people need certain things and everything, but it's, you know.
I mean, I didn't know, I don't pay attention to the lay of the land or anything else. I figured maybe they was mowing it with I mean, if it's that right there close between all their houses, I thought maybe it was more a lawn to them. But if it was growed up in brush, it sure wouldn't touch.
Well, I don't know the exact extent of it, I didn't see it, but I know last fall, we went through with our brush cutter and cut that up, but that's not really, you know, here and there, I mean,
Yeah.
about the sign, I mean, the sign's totally independent of that, but, you know, my answer is yes, I could put one up, but I hesitate to want to keep on putting these signs up at people's request, because we have them everywhere.
Do you have an issue where people is driving fast through there or something?
There is a,
That's what he
yeah,
said, Jonesboro Road
I would,
there seems
I
to
would
be-
venture to say so. That road is crazy busy with people going to the plants.
And I don't know
Shift
why.
change traffic.
I don't know
It's not
why.
even a good road. I don't
No, it's
know.
not.
They go down, they turn on 169, and then they go there and cut across. I mean, why would they not go to Bowes Road?
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
I don't know why you wouldn't go to Highway 45 or Bowes Road
Yeah.
either one. I mean, if you go down Jonesboro, you got railroad
Stop,
tracks to deal
swerves,
with, you got, a lot of curves, in and outs, I mean, it's a terrible road. I mean, it shouldn't be, people shouldn't be driving real fast on it,
But they
I'm not
do.
guaranteeing they don't, they might, and that might be why he wants it, but. What I was saying, right now, we're just concentrating on replacing signs, we got 300 and some signs, we've put up maybe about 40 or 50 signs so far, so we've got